Welcome back to Cosmic Kickback. My name is Nick, and I'm here with my co-host.
You know I'm always here, Josh.
Today we're going to be talking about a highly anticipated movie that we've been, I think, talking about.
We've been talking about this movie for a while.
Yeah, probably since it got announced that it was going to come out.
We've been excited for this.
Yeah.
I think we first saw it back at the, what was that thing DC had, the Fandom
The
event?
DC Fandom.
They showed a little behind the scenes, and since then we've been ready.
Yeah, that was a while ago, dude.
It was like last August, I think.
Yeah. Straight to the point, though. We're going to be reviewing James Gunn's The Suicide Squad movie.
Mm-hmm. Before we hop into it, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. If you're listening anywhere else, follow us on that platform or click a link, follow us everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why not? We do this weekly. We got some new shows dropping too very soon, so be ready.
Excited.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. So make sure to go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Link will be, if you're not already on YouTube, link's going to be in the description. So there we go. And then, are we going to do non-spoilers or just straight spoilers?
Let's do spoilers because it's kind of going to be hard to dance around the spoilers.
Yeah, it will be. Just before we hop into spoilers, just if you're thinking about seeing this, go ahead and see it. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's worth the watch.
It is worth the watch. It's also on HBO Max if you have that.
Yeah.
And let's just hop right into it. Nick, what'd you think?
So I like rating shit on my Letterboxd, and I think when I first saw this, I gave it like a 4.5.
I think I did as well.
Out the gate.
Yeah. Let's see. Right off the bat. Oh, we did say 2 episodes ago. First thing we're reviewing is Who Got Naked.
Okay, let's get that out the way.
Yeah, let's get that out the way. Nobody of interest.
No.
Yeah,
it was like a background character.
We ain't see no shark dick.
No, sadly.
We didn't see John Cena's dick.
I mean, we had
actually,
like a crotch shot.
We kind of did get a shot of it.
He was like in tighty whities.
that shit was funny.
Which like, why was okay? I mean, I get like they were sleeping in the jungle and shit, so he just stripped down to his underwear. I thought that was a funny shot.
I love how they literally pan up from him. Let's see. Let's go through. There's a lot of people in this one. The other one was from 2016, had like 6 people on the team. This one's got like
over 15.
There's a lot of people. Let's try and name them off. We got returning characters from the first one. We have Rick Flag, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, and is there one more? Or is that it? I guess. Oh, Amanda Waller's back.
Yeah, I guess
she's not really on the team, but she's the lead. She gets them.
Yeah. And
I think that's everyone returning from the first one. And besides that, we got a ton of new characters. We got Peacemaker, John Cena. Bloodsport is Idris Elba. Yeah. We got Weasel in there. Mongal is like an orange alien. Yeah. We got Blackguard, Pete Davidson.
We got Javelin.
Javelin. Who else? Oh, TDK.
TDK.
The detachable kid.
Fucking ass, dude.
I think that's everybody. Ratcatcher 2, King Shark, Savant, and Polka Dot Man. I believe that's all of them.
If we forgot someone, they probably died, and
we
didn't really have a lot of time to focus on. That's what I want to talk about
first. The very first opening scene, pretty much, is a fucking massacre. Damn. Pretty much everyone fucking dies.
Yeah, the whole opening scene, I kind of like how they did it because you're expecting this big ass team up and shit, and that is what happens. But so Michael Rooker's character. Good actor, by the way.
You gotta see it through his perspective. He gets recruited.
He plays like it starts following him. Everyone's like, oh shit, okay, he's gonna be the main character. And it does this whole sequence where they're like, all right, the drill, go do this mission. If you try to run away, we kill you.
Yeah,
and so everyone's
off your sentence.
Yeah. And they team up with, I think it's Javelin, Mongol, Weasel, Harley Quinn, Rick Flag, Boomerang, and Blackguard. So it's 7 or 8 people. Yeah, Javelin.
Yeah, Javelin.
Yeah, so they all team up and shit.
And TDK.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, that's who I was missing.
TDK is actually in the comics.
I didn't know that was Nathan Fillion, dude.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
I didn't have any time to be like, oh, that's who that is. Because a lot of them either have makeup on or masks.
Yeah, he has a big mask covering half of his face.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know who he was going to be because I think they revealed it that they said oh, Nathan Fillion is TDK. And people are like, who the fuck is TDK?
Yeah.
Because there's no character called TDK in the comics.
Yeah.
He actually is playing a character called Arm Fall Off Boy.
Arm Fall.
That's the name of the comic character.
That doesn't roll off the tongue as
much.
much.
So I think it's funny that they were like, oh, the detachable kid. And his power is that his arms detach from his body. And I love how it's not like a crazy product. He can make him fly around. Like they move just as fast as if he was just walking forward. Like they're just going forward. And then since they're not attached to his body anymore.
It's like
he has like no momentum when he punches anybody. So it's just like a literal arm.
Yeah.
He has.
It's
no
like when you're walking
momentum.
and someone bumps into you and you're like, oh shit.
It's
like an inconvenience.
Yeah, they were like looking at the arms like, what the fuck is this?
I thought that was. I really like the opening scene first because like. I think it sets the tone for like what the movie is.
Oh yeah.
With like the violence, there's a lot of cursing. You can I was just kind of like, what the fuck? It was kind of like fucking Saving Private Ryan but like DC cuz like
everyone just gets shit
on. They pull up to the beach. Fucking Weasel just drowns.
Yeah. Weasel immediately they drop into the ocean and swim up to shore. And I love, that's one thing I actually really like about this version as compared to the other one we saw.
Yeah, because don't they just drop in like a helicopter?
Yeah, but like what I was gonna say is this one feels more like the actual Suicide Squad team, like Amanda Waller's team.
Yeah,
the people she's with. It feels like way more like this is like a real team in the sense that. Like a lot of them they're like placing bets on like who's gonna die, and they a lot of them haven't done their job. Like someone's like, did no one check if Weasel could swim? And they're just like, oh, I thought you did it. And then it just seems like a group of people that
I know
they're not doing their jobs, and like because Weasel immediately drops in the water and drowns.
He fucking like belly flops from like 100 feet from that helicopter,
and it's also like. I don't even know if Weasel really agreed to do this because like Rick Flag's like he's agreed to do this and it's like, well, has he?
Yeah, he's like I think
he just makes a ton of
and he's
noise
just like in the chair.
You don't even know if he knows what's going on or anything. And I liked how the team like they get like screen time. Like you see people working behind the chair with Amanda Waller. She has like a group of people.
Yeah, like a little intel base.
Whereas in like the other one, she had that, but like none of them really had any lines. They were kind of just sitting there. They all like they didn't mess anything up. They knew everything. This one feels way more realistic.
Yeah,
like Task Force-esque would be like just assembled by a group of people that don't really know what's going on. Like Amanda Waller's the only competent one in the group.
Yeah, it was cool. They gave them personalities.
Yeah.
And you told me the other night when we were rewatching on HBO Max that one of the ladies in the control room was James Gunn's wife.
Yeah,
which
Jennifer
I did not
Holland,
know.
I believe her name is. She was the blonde one.
That's cool.
I forgot the character's name.
Yeah.
But and then actually another piece of trivia. A lot of people probably know this. You probably don't, Nick. Let me just blow your mind real quick.
Go ahead.
The dude, the big guy with the glasses, the one that was like, "We got a fucking kaiju up in this shit." That guy.
Yeah.
He actually did the mocap for King Shark.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they had him in the shark outfit or the mocap suit, and he was like all the scenes you see King Shark, he was the one doing the mocap.
I saw behind the scenes of them, like I didn't know it was the same guy because he just looks so different.
It's I think his name's Steve Aoki or something like that.
Steve Aoki.
He's actually I think a comedian. He's pretty funny.
Really?
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I think that's his name. He did the mocap for King Shark, so a lot of people actually thought he was gonna, be King Shark, and then they dropped the bomb that Sylvester Stallone's doing the voice for King Shark. Which I think he actually does a great job. It's so I'd love this. Sylvester Stallone's such like an 80s action hero guy.
Yeah,
like he's all serious, and I just see him, and he's just like nom nom. Like, I can't imagine him saying that shit in the recording studio. Like we want you to just say some dumb shit.
Do you think that King Shark or Sylvester Stallone? Do you think he did a better performance as King Shark than Vin Diesel did for Groot?
For Groot?
Yeah. I mean, he had more dialogue to work with. I think Vin Diesel just had to like repeat "I am Groot" in like different variations,
the tones and stuff.
I like Sylvester Stallone more than Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah, I do too. Sylvester Stallone's a legend, bro.
Yeah.
But let's see. What'd you think of some of the new characters? Like like Peacemaker?
I'd never seen. So I'm trying to think who I hadn't seen before. Probably like over half of the people that were put on for the cast. It was like I had no idea who they were.
A lot of them are like B-list villains, which I do like. They're like the only A-lister villain is probably Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Maybe King Shark. Some people know him, but most of them are pretty B-list. Like
probably even like C or like D tier. Like I feels like
like
they could have.
Who the fuck is Savant?
Yeah. Yeah.
He gets his head blown off. He's. He sees the whole team getting demolished.
Dude, I thought that part was so funny because I was just like, everyone starts getting fucked up and he's just there like looking, and then I'm like, oh shit, like is he about to fucking go off? And then he just starts screaming and fucking like he snaps.
Yeah, he snaps and he's like, I'm leaving. And Amanda Waller's like, Savant, turn back.
Yeah,
they explode his head.
Yeah, I actually like how they showed that like in the first 10 minutes because
it really sets the tone.
Yeah, it's like anybody could die. Because we watched it like the premiere night in the movies and shit, which was cool. Like we hadn't done that in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And
saw it in IMAX.
Yeah, dude, it was a big ass screen, but it really set the tone for I didn't really know who was gonna die and like what would happen next. And even like when we get to the second or third act of the movie, when we kind of have this group of characters that we're following mainly now, I still thought at any point that one of them could have just died.
And that does happen at the end too. I think there's like one character at the very end that you think they've made it to the end, and they still die.
Yeah.
I actually we'll talk about that when we get to it, but yeah. Let's see. Bloodsport. What'd you think of that? Idris Elba.
I was excited. I thought he was gonna play Deadshot. Actually,
I think this is a rumor. What I've heard. I'm not sure if this is true or not.
Got the rumors.
Yeah. So this is apparently they were originally gonna recast Will Smith with Idris Elba as Deadshot.
Yeah.
But then they made the decision where they were like, well, because I think Will Smith didn't want to come back. Apparently, like he's like, oh no, I don't know about it.
Was he busy or just kind of hesitant?
I'm not sure. Either one. But from what I've heard, is then they were like, okay, well, he's not outright saying he's done with us, like the DC universe.
Yeah.
So they were like, instead of recasting and then he's just completely out, like let's just make Idris Elba a character that's similar.
Yeah.
And just give him the same backstory because he pretty much has the same motivations as Deadshot did in the first one. So the rumor is that they cast Idris Elba, but they were like, oh, just in case Will Smith ever wants to come back.
That's cool. They left the door open.
Yeah. So. And the movie actually makes a joke about something kind of like that, like how Amanda Waller's like, oh, like everybody's been picked for their unique set of skills.
Yeah.
And then right away, she's like, this is Bloodsport. Like his father trained him from a young age to make anything a lethal weapon. And then he's like, all right, let's meet your team. And he meets Peacemaker John Cena.
I like how he's standing.
Yeah,
like,
he's standing at attention.
Door,
and then
like
right away,
fucking army.
Yeah, and right away she's like, his father trained him from a young age, and he can like anything is a lethal weapon in his hands. And he's just like, he has the same thing as me.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck?
And then John Cena's just like, only better.
Yeah, he's like, I do everything better. I thought that was funny. I like their little like bickering and shit.
Yeah, I like how we've actually met the team. Like they show them going through the prison, and then he meets King Shark after that.
Yeah,
and Ratcatcher too.
Yeah, I think the first 30, like even 45 minutes, like. You first meet the characters, she kind of gives them background, and then like seeing them interact with each other, you start to learn more about like what their personality is like. Because when they met King Shark, they were just like, oh shit, they're just like what the fuck is that thing? And he's like, oh, he's like trying to read a book, like this is funny.
The book's upside down.
Yeah,
he's acting like
he's like, smart.
Yeah,
that's funny.
What'd you think of Ratcatcher 2?
I thought that was pretty cool too. I only heard about her like in the comics. I think you told me there was 2 when we were talking about the movie like before the trailer dropped, and we were kind of going through. I'm not sure if there is
or not. If I'm being real, I know there's Ratcatcher in the comics, who I think is a Batman villain.
Yeah,
and I could be wrong, but I don't know if they ever made his daughter Ratcatcher 2. They could have just made it like straight for this movie, but either way, I enjoyed the character. I like how.
Yeah, she did. She was really good.
Yeah. I like how she's like sleeping all the time.
Yeah, she's just constantly like they're on the bus to go fight. She's sleeping. Like
they wake her up and they're like, "Come on, it's time to go."
Yeah,
she's got like her one pet rat, but she controls like all the rats. Sebastian. Yeah. And then we meet Polka Dot Man.
He was like the only one that was in a locked cell. He had like something around his neck too.
Yeah, they
like
said it was a power dampening thing.
Yeah,
he's like, I think. He's kind of like the only one with real superpowers, really.
Yeah, everyone else is kind of just like
I
guns,
guess
killer.
King Shark is a big ass shark, so that's.
I mean, those aren't powers. It's just like he mainly is he's
strong as shit. Yeah. He's kind of like the Hulk, but he eats shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
But no, yeah, he's like the only one with like actual superpowers.
Yeah, I know.
Like he shoots out polka dots from.
It was just so weird. I like how immediately when he came out of his cell, like some guys, Sean Gunn.
It was Calendar Man.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Batman.
He had like shit written on his.
That was Sean
forehead.
Gunn, also James Gunn's brother.
Yeah, I like how he played a lot of characters.
Right away, he makes fun of Polka Dot Man and asks him to like be like a birthday.
Yeah, he's like, come to my like entertain my daughter's like party, fucking pussy.
Yeah, and then they
just the guards just like laughing at him. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
That was funny too.
Yeah, that's why I like how it's rated R, because like you can cuss and shit, but like the way the dialogue is written and stuff, it's just like funny. Like it's how people in prison would just talk to each other and just fucking like mess with each other.
It's also like what's the word?
Refreshing, maybe.
Yeah, it's really refreshing, especially after seeing what happened with the other one. Like no hate to David Ayer. The studio obviously meddled with it.
Yeah.
But it's so refreshing. You could tell from the jump that this is James Gunn's movie. Like you could tell that he had free reign and they let him do anything because he picked all these characters, and then on top of that, the way that they die, like it's really bloody, and gory. There's a lot of you could tell like James Gunn. Before he was Guardians, he did Slither, which is like a really like gross looking like horror movie where he's got Michael Rooker's in it, so he turns into some like disgusting. Yeah, look it up. It's. And I think it's all practical too, and it looks disgusting.
I'd really like to see that. I love practical
look it up.
effects.
It's and you can tell that he kind of went back to that with this movie because he, like when we get to Starro, like just looking at like a close up of its skin, it looks all like bubbly and gross looking, and this is all the blood and like guts. Someone gets ripped in half by King Shark at one point.
Oh yeah,
I think I heard that was practical actually too.
Yeah, honestly, like. A lot of the stuff in this movie seemed like very either the CGI was so good that it just blended in with the rest of like the set, but I could tell like what was practical and what like wasn't. Like I think Savant's head blowing up, like that was clearly practical.
It looked
like
really
Pete Davidson's like face, like when after he gets shot and he's just laying there with the fucking like hole in his head, like that was practical.
Yeah. There's a scene when they get to near the end, they when they get to like where the thinker Peter Capaldi, his character.
Oh, dude, he got Jesus.
Oh, that's
Christ.
Yeah. But when before they get there, they see that he's been experimenting with like the
that was gross
star things, and you see like
that was really disturbing to watch.
You see like its guts hanging out. There's like one guy where they've like ripped the starfish off of his face.
Yeah, they were trying to figure out how to get it off.
And you just see like half of his face is missing, and it just looks all gross.
Yeah,
it's really disturbing to look at. This is not for children.
Yeah, for sure.
All.
It's rated R.
Yeah.
There was another practical effect that I liked that they did was so when they find out that Rick Flag is actually still alive. And so they make their way to like this little camp where they think like there's enemies and shit.
That's a great scene.
Yeah, I like that scene for two reasons. Just because of like the way that they did all the deaths and shit. Like it's like none of them are the same. Mm-hmm. And you see like Peacekeeper and Bloodsport kind of just like trying to show off and shit. And they're just like flipping each other off, just like bro,
like bickering.
Yeah, they're like I'm better, bro. But like there's one point where John Cena goes up on the roof and he starts like shooting people with like a blow dart, and then like he jumps down from the roof and you see Bloodsport's just like burning people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like they just they like walk off screen, which I thought is really cool because they did that in Watchmen, which is that Zack Snyder movie. There's like a scene where a guy's like burning alive in the prison.
Oh yeah, they used to do that a lot in movies.
Yeah,
they would be stuntmen that literally just get lit on fire and then
what they have to do is put on like petroleum jelly, and then they douse them with like fire, and then they light them, and they have like 15 to 30 seconds to where they can just walk around on fire till it starts like burning.
Yeah.
So they have to like it's really hard to pull off, which is like props to that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And that whole scene is actually like within like the first half of the movie. They so there's two teams.
Yeah.
There's like the first team that we talked about that got massacred in the beginning. The only people to survive out of that are Harley Quinn and Rick Flag.
Yeah.
Rick Flag runs off and gets captured. That they think he's captured, but he's really with the freedom fighters. They saved him. Yeah,
like he just ran off at the opposite direction in the woods.
That's another. It's funny because they go to save him. Like Amanda Watter's like, oh, we gotta rescue Rick Flag. Like you guys gotta.
Yeah, it's like new priority mission.
Yeah, and they just wipe out like all of them. King Shark eats somebody. Ratcatcher like gets somebody. Like Polka Dot Man melts some people out of a watchtower and they die. And his polka dots, they're like acid. Like they melt through your body.
They like disintegrate.
They just anything in their path is getting just destroyed and melted.
It was kind of fucked up because like I started kind of questioning it when they there was just women like there like washing dishes and there's people like bathing. I was like, fuck, like they're just killing the women too.
The women was just like washing some clothes and singing, and then John Cena just like just like blow dart. And she's like.
She just dies.
And so they finally get to Rick Flag, and he's just like having a laugh with like the leader.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "What are you guys doing here?" And he's just like, "We're here to rescue you." And it's like, "No, these are the freedom fighters."
Yeah. He's like, "They saved my life."
Yeah. And she's like, "Why did my people not alert me? You guys are on."
And they're just like,
And I love how right after that, Rick Flag just straight up says like, oh, these guys are idiots. Like, but
he's like, these guys, they're just like in the bag.
They're really dumb. He's like,
what does this one do?
He's like, yeah, we could use your help. I that's one thing also I think I like about the writing in this. So one complaint that not everybody but some people have with the Marvel movies is that like everybody's throwing quips out. You know what I mean? Like everyone's joking, everyone's just like saying like a one-liner for a joke. Like a lot of times it's rapid fire. Like everyone's quipping. Like every character, even if they're like a serious character.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have complaints of that. Some movies are worse than others of that. But what I like about this one is each character kind of stays in their own personality. They don't really like. Not everyone's quipping. Like Ratcatcher has like parts that are funny, like when King Shark tries to eat her and she kind of says like she's reacting to him. It's like there's funny parts, but she's not saying quips. And like
she's not like, oh,
like Peacemaker's pretty like he's not quipping, but he's saying like he's kind of just straight down the middle, like in terms of like he's like a hard like I'll do anything for peace, but he's also kind of like
he's kind of got like a big head.
Yeah, he's kind, but his funny parts, like his lines are like when he's bantering with Bloodsport, but it's not like he's quipping. He's just being like, they're both being very egotistical about their skills, and that's why it's funny.
Yeah.
Like no one's really like quipping, and like Rick Flag's trying to be serious, like that. Like throughout the whole movie, I don't think Rick Flag says anything funny really, but like the parts that are funny is that he's trying to like be the serious one when he's got like this group of like idiots, and he's kind of like that, and that's what makes it funny. You know what I mean? That's what I really
it's like the
liked
characters.
Also. Each character like stays within themselves. And that's what makes their lines work, and everything's funny about it, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think that like
the
James Gunn
character is probably Harley Quinn, but like that makes sense.
Yeah, I like how they did her. I think James Gunn, like doing Guardians 1 and 2, has like been able to balance characters pretty well, like cutting through different scenes and stuff. And this is probably like the biggest amount of characters that he had to kind of balance and stuff. That's probably why he killed off a lot of them in the beginning. He's like, fuck, I don't want to have to like make stories for them and shit.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the middle part of the movie?
Like
my friend Marco said that it kind of dragged on. Like he said he liked the first and third act. What do you think about the middle and stuff?
Well, which part? What would you call the middle? Like when they get to the club?
Like when they get before they rescue Harley, like when Harley gets captured, and then I guess the part when they're in the club, like getting to the Thinker.
You know, I actually really liked that middle part, because I do agree. I could see where somebody would be like, oh man, it's getting kind of slow and dragging. But for me, I actually really enjoyed that part of it, because there's like a long scene where they're driving to the club together, and you just get like Ratcatcher 2's backstory and Bloodsport's talking to her, and they have like a really like you get to understand the characters more. Like there's actually scenes where you can tell that they're doing characterization. Like all the characters are like learning more about each other. You figure out why Bloodsport has a fear of rats, which is another thing that Amanda Waller and her team didn't
nobody
check on.
Went over a lot of people's heads.
They're like, you put Bloodsport, who's supposed to be the leader of the team, on a team of someone who literally controls rats.
Yeah.
But no, I like the middle part, because and then when they get to the club, they have a drink, and we see them literally like laughing together, and like they're starting. Yeah,
they actually started building like camaraderie and stuff.
Yeah, and I the scene's kind of funny. They're like all dancing, and you see like John Cena's doing like stupid like dad moves.
Yeah. And, I thought that was cool.
You see Polka Dot Man's like in the
he had the hose on him, bro.
I know he did. And we haven't mentioned it yet.
Polka Dot Man pulled the hose.
Polka Dot Man has like a has like what's the word? Like I guess he had a bad childhood, so he sees his mom everywhere. He has like
a crippling fear of his mother,
because his mother experimented on him and his siblings to get superpowers from them, and he doesn't like his mom.
Yeah. Do you think that's what his mom actually look? Well, it has to be. But if he was given like an interdimensional virus, like that's what his powers are and shit. Like the way the mom looks, she just looks like an average, like overweight, like white mom with glasses. Mom. Yeah, like you expect me to believe.
I mean, if they're working in a lab, like you could look like anything.
Yeah, I guess so.
But no, there's like three scenes in the movie where you see the world from Polka Dot Man's perspective, and he's looking at the team, and you see like a gray shark version of his mom. You see like Peacemaker. They had the actress that played the mom just put on everyone's outfit. Yeah. And he's so like weird. Dressed like Rick Flag, dressed like Peacemaker, just like Ratcatcher.
God.
And it's
was there an actual actress that played the mom? Let's look that up
for sure. Yeah, who else would it be?
But then they CGI'd like a lot of that. So you think that was mocap or something?
Well, they obviously the shark thing was CGI, but like I think her in all the outfits that was probably just they just made an outfit that fit her. Excuse me. Another thing I like is I like how all the characters, and I mean this goes for like I'm sure most movies do this, but I can tell James Gunn had attention to detail where each character, like they literally like you could tell they were told to have certain mannerisms. Like what I mean by that is I like how there's a couple shots where you just see like a wide shot of like the team walking forward. Like there's one when the second team gets on the beach for the first time.
Oh yeah, that was badass.
And then like it says the Suicide Squad behind them, and it starts the intro for like all the credits and names and stuff. Then there's another one like maybe like right before the final act where they're coming out of the rain, and it's like
that was badass.
That one's another cool one. But what I've noticed, and I really like this, I like how they told the character that plays Ratcatcher, in both of those scenes she has on her mask.
Yeah.
And they told her to have like the like hunched over mannerisms like with her arms up.
Yeah.
Because if you look in the comic, if you look at Ratcatcher, he's kind of like a creepy looking guy.
Yeah.
So he has on the mask and everything, and he's kind of hunched over with his arms. And if you watch Ratcatcher, when she's walking in both of those scenes, like she kind of like has that mannerism, like she's kind of like kind of hunched over and like looking around like a rat.
Yeah.
Like she has those mannerisms, and I thought that was really cool. I like how King Shark kind of has the same thing. He's kind of like a big like just bumbling guy.
Yeah.
And Polka Dot Man kind of has like the weird thing going on.
Like,
so he's
constantly like fidgeting.
Yeah, he's like fidgeting with his hands, but he's not in the same way as Ratcatcher. And they all have their own mannerisms, and they all just those little things that you only see visually just add to the character, like each character. And that's what I really liked, like all that stuff. You can tell that James Gunn told them like, let's do it again, but you got to do this.
Yeah. He had really good direction with this.
That's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, what did you think of the middle then? Because you said our friend Marco said he thought it was slow.
I thought it was good because the beginning is just like so much to take in with like you get introduced to characters and then like a lot of them just die, and then you meet the second team. You kind of figure out what's going on with like, okay, like the mission is like to go onto the island and pretty much get rid of like Jotunheim or whatever. So you understand the goals and stuff. And I think it's kind of good in the middle, like to, the rest of the team meets up with Rick Flag. There's like that whole Harley side story, which I thought was pretty funny. I thought that was super funny.
Yeah.
But I don't really think it dragged on. I think it was just kind of good to like pause for a bit because the movie, I think it like starts at a 10.
It
or
does
maybe even
right
like a
away.
9.
It starts and then
it's like
whenever you do something like that, it's hard to then slow it back down without messing up the pacing. But I thought the pacing of the movie was actually great.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good because you don't want to like overwhelm the audience with so much information to where they have to pause and like you don't want your audience like when they're watching it on HBO Max to pause and be like, okay, like wait, this is happening.
Yeah.
Like I think the middle part was good because it lets you know the characters more through like them interacting with each other. Like you said, the bus, like when they were bus riding over to the club. And there was a lot of moments where they like humanized the characters. Like even King Shark, like when like he's about to eat like Ratcatcher and she's like, oh, like you wouldn't eat your friends, and he's just like, I don't have any friends. And then they kind of, I guess, like start a little friendship, which is cool. And then
she asked to be their friend.
Yeah, I know. I thought she was gonna like.
For a second, I thought
when he shook her hand,
shake hands, I thought he was gonna pull her in and
I thought he was just gonna fucking snap her.
I was hoping that wasn't gonna happen because I was really liking.
Yeah, I was like, oh
already.
Shit. Yeah.
And that's when John Cena pulls up in his tighty whities.
Yeah, it's funny. And then they even considered killing him too. Remember, they're just like, oh, like, are we gonna kill him? Dude, I was surprised. Bloodsport like he was bodying him, dude. He pulled out his fucking gun. And was just like shooting the shit out of him.
I do like that. Bloodsport's all of his weapons come from his suit, his outfit. He's like ripping off like pieces of it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Which in the comics, the character Bloodsport kind of has this. He actually has a superpower. I think it's called like he does the same thing, but he just pulls weapons through like interdimensional portals and shit. Like he pulls them out of like thin air and shit like that.
That would have been
so
cool.
He has like that power in the comics. So I think James Gunn was like, nah, like let's not make him like that crazy superpowered. Let's just make it where it's part of his suit. Yeah. Which I thought it looked good too. I really like a lot of the scenes how he like rips something off and it's like it looks like a weird looking thing, but it still shoots, or it's like a mini gun.
Yeah, it almost looked like an alien type gun from like Halo
and how
or something.
He could like grab another piece and put it onto that gun and it changes into a bigger gun.
Yeah.
He does it at the end and he puts on like 5 pieces of things and makes this big ass gun.
That thing was cool.
I like that.
I love that shot when he puts like his whole gun together and then like he just starts shooting at Starro with like the Suicide Squad like walking behind him. Yeah, that's kind of like backing them up.
What do you think of Starro?
I thought that was a really, I mean, yeah, they showed it in the trailer, but obviously there was a lot more like behind it when they actually get
in this movie.
Yeah, they actually get to Jotunheim and they're just like, oh, like, so this thing came from space, like the Americans found it, and like they actually just like offshored it to this other island because they didn't want to deal with it. Yeah, and I think he was saying like the more like people it takes over, it gets stronger. Like it's like a host, like a parasite. Like controlling them. Yeah. I thought that was really cool.
Well, the twist in the movie is that they've been tasked to destroy this building pretty much and everything in it. Yeah. Which is Project Starfish, which is the twist is that they find out that this is actually like pretty much like a US operation. Like they are the ones that found the starfish, like you said, in the space, and they hired the Thinker to conduct experiments so they can use this alien.
And that was like 30 years ago, I think he said. He's been with it for 30 years.
Yeah, and you find out in the beginning that there's been a change of like government. Like this pretty much has kind of turned into like a dictatorship type thing. Yeah. So that's why the US is sending in the Suicide Squad, because they're like, oh shit, they now have control of this big thing that we were controlling. Let's just destroy it so no one knows that the U.S. had something to do with this.
Yeah, it's like a cover-up mission.
Yeah, it's a cover-up mission.
But like they didn't really know.
Yeah, and no one knew besides Peacemaker, I think, because Amanda Waller knew.
Yeah, she always has a backup. I think Rick Flag Rick Flag says he's like, oh, like I knew like Amanda Waller always had like a backup. Yeah,
so her backup plan was she knew that Peacekeeper, his whole thing is he will kill like anybody. He doesn't care if it's like a fucking puppy, a child. Like he does not care what he has to do to keep peace. Yeah. And in his mind, keeping like the peace on like American soil, he's pretty much like a fucked up Captain America. Yeah. With like guns and
with shit. Like fucked up morals.
Yeah. And he pretty much he has no moral compass when it comes to keeping peace.
Yeah.
So what I liked about, and I can tell through, John Cena had great acting.
Yeah. He's been killing it, bro.
Yeah. Because I could tell in the fight scene when he pulls a gun on Rick Flag, because Rick Flag wants to show the press that the U.S. was, and he's like, oh, I'm not covering up the military's like dirty secrets.
Yeah, he's like, I've been a dog for so long, like I'm not going to do this.
And then Peacemaker's like, I can't let you do that. And then they start fighting. And what I like about it is what ends up happening is Peacemaker stabs him with like a piece of tile through his heart.
They fucking fight. Yeah. Like I think it cuts between two scenes like there, because they split up into two teams to set bombs around the place or whatever. Yeah. And then like as soon as he's about to shoot Rick Flag, like the whole building collapses, and then they all wake up like in the rubble. Yeah. And then I think they just
the bombs went off by accident.
Yeah, they just start. Oh yeah, that's right. Fucking Polka Dot Man just like blew it up. Very reckless. But
when they fight, what I like about it is I think at least this is what I picked up. I don't know if you agree with this or not. Let me know. I thought based on John Cena's acting when. It felt like to me he really didn't want to kill Rick Flag. Like he's like, I'll do it. He's like, but like, because it seems like he had like become friends with him. Yeah. Like through like all the scenes they had together, like at the bar and like drinking, and then they broke out of like an armored car together, and like they're doing all this stuff together. And it seemed to me like it seemed to me like he didn't want to kill him. Like he was like, oh no, like you're cool, man. Like you're my friend. He's like, but like, I mean, I got to do it for peace. Like, don't make me do this. But he's like, I will. I don't want to. And I got that vibe from him in his acting. And that's why I was like, oh, like he's not just a killer. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he is, but I got the, from just like the,
like facial. It was really difficult for him to kind of do.
Yeah. Like he'll still do it, but it seemed like he didn't want to, you know?
That was a good fight scene too. The way that they filmed, like around his helmet, like when it first started, shot, like you could just see their reflections, like fighting. I thought that was really cool, and that was probably CGI too, but that felt practical.
It looked really great. It looks really good. Speaking of how the Polka Dot Man exploded everything, there's 2 times in this movie where James Gunn goes back in time. Like right at the beginning, we see the massacre at the beach, and then it says 3 days earlier, and then we see Amanda Waller forming Bloodsports because there's two teams. There's Bloodsports, like 5-man squad, and then there's the big.
Yeah, his is like smaller, like more powerful beings.
And you find out that her and Blackguard maybe she like knew Blackguard was gonna set him up because she did it for a diversion. We find out, and to like let Bloodsport and them get on without having to deal with any of the military. And then later on, when near the end, we see like it literally says 8 minutes earlier. It's Peacemaker's about to kill Ratcatcher.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, like you saw like the records, you know about them. Like I gotta.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta clean up everything.
Yeah, and he's gonna kill her too. And then it says 8 minutes earlier. And actually, I found this out. Apparently, like right when it says 8 minutes earlier, it's actually exactly 8 minutes of fill time from when like that happens. It's exactly That's 8 cool. minutes.
Yeah, so, like when James Gunn was jumping back and forth like between like 3 days earlier, which like about them Blackguards like team assembling, I like how he showed like the other Suicide Squad members in the background. Oh yeah. Like they didn't talk, but like they looked at each other and they were just like, oh, like what the fuck?
Yeah,
like they were either in their cells or they were just like remember he cleaned up Savant's like hair.
Oh yeah, like, that was gross. That was and then Pete Davidson Blackguard walks by and leaves him like some toilet paper.
A dickhead. But the way that James Gunn did the like jumping back and forth, like
I thought it was paced.
Yeah,
really
I didn't think it was confusing because I knew like he would say like right away, and it was cool the way he put it. Like it felt very comic booky. Yeah, like it would either be like meanwhile let's jump to Harley. It would be like written in like tree roots, or it would be like that really cool shot of like Jotunheim, like when they switched to that chapter.
Yeah, and it's like a perspective thing.
Yeah, like it was like a building, like a roof was all damaged and shit.
And
but
then
the way you saw
the camera pans to the left, and then you slowly see everything move in perspective.
It felt like turning pages on like a comic book.
Exactly, and a lot of comics have like those screens where, like you said, it'll say "Meanwhile."
Yeah,
like it literally says "Meanwhile Harley," and she's like been captured.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
She has like her whole own like subplot.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
I like spending like time with her, like just like Harley Quinn.
Yeah, she becomes like a princess, and she marries like or she's gonna marry the president, but then she kills him. Oh, yeah. And then she gets captured, then she escapes. Dude, the scene of her escaping, I really liked.
Yeah,
where she like
crazy.
She escapes. She gets out. She like grabs like a key with her feet and like unlocks herself, and then she goes and. I really liked how when she's killing everybody, like there's flowers and then there's like birds flying around.
Yeah, that was beautiful because
what I got is like I was thinking like, oh shit, maybe like because she's like insane, maybe that's like her vision. Because I know in some of the Harley comics they've made, obviously this one knows she's murdering people, like she's aware that she's killing people. But in some of the comic stories I've read from her, the writers have had like a Harley panel where like in one panel there's like blood all over the wall and someone looks like she murdered them, and then from her vision like they're just like knocked out, like, and there's like birdies like around their head and there's like little flowers and stuff,
like,
and
what she sees is different.
Yeah, so she doesn't think she's actually like murdering people in some comics. She's kind of just crazy and she sees all this stuff. In this one I think she definitely is killing people, but I think she's like seeing flowers and shit come out with the blood. Yeah. And I really liked how you could see it from her perspective also, like while she's doing all that.
That was cool.
Yeah.
She was murking them too, dude, with the spear.
She was.
The javelin.
Oh yeah, she got a javelin.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. I felt kind of bad that he died because like, I mean, he had a javelin,
he
bro.
Got shot up, bro.
Like, I feel like he'd throw it once and it's like, shit, like my powers. Like, they were on the beach full of like, over like 200 people like shooting guns. Like, yeah, Amanda Waller set that team up for failure.
No, for sure she did.
She obviously
she picked like TDK.
Yeah, she overcompensated like a bunch of like underperforming like C-listers. Harley Quinn was probably the only one.
She probably why'd she put Harley on there, bro? She was like, oh, let me just get rid of this.
Yeah, she probably just wanted to kill her.
Yeah, he's like, I'm tired of dealing with her.
Yeah. But then like Bloodsports teams, this like muscle, like fucking her. Oh, like that was clearly the team that was gonna like infiltrate. Like she knew. Like if you see the way she set up the team and shit.
Oh, for sure. She put like the people who have more competence on one side.
Yeah, and then she put Bloodsport on there. Who I actually like his arc of being like, oh, like I'm in prison. Like I need to get my daughter away from me. Like I have no good. And then he goes to like. Strangely enough, like Ratcatcher's like little rat Sebastian like senses good in him.
Oh yeah,
which is funny. Like I like the little scenes with him where he's just like
waving at
people. He's like being, or like he offers him a leaf. He's like, "Why the fuck would I want to leave?
Why would I want to leave for?"
I thought that was funny. But yeah, so the rat like senses good in him, and then by the end of it, when they do the final battle with Starro, he's like telling everyone what to do. He's like, Harley, like get up on the high ground.
Yeah,
like,
he's like leading them.
Yeah, he's like, King Shark, like I need you to just fucking like. He's like nom nom.
Yeah, he's like,
and then
monsters.
He's like,
num
that's
num.
your mom.
Yeah,
you see that?
Oh, so yeah. Right at the end when they finally decide to fight, they're fighting Starro. They've already completed their mission. Amanda Waller was like, "Oh, y'all can just dip."
Yeah,
like, she's like, "I don't care. Like this is we've already destroyed our records. We're cool." She was like, "Just leave," and then they're like, "He couldn't do it." They're like, "Oh, we're going."
Yeah,
back.
they were actually about to walk away, but then like he had that moment of like,
yeah,
what is it called when like, you can't turn away from something, but like.
It's probably a word for it. I don't know it.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I'm not blanking on it.
Yeah,
but like his moral compass
team,
was just like, no, like this is not the right thing to do.
And the whole team is with him, and they're like coming back.
Yeah, because they're following him.
Yeah,
they take
and Amanda Waller's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill all of you guys if you keep going in."
Yeah,
and somebody on the team or like on Amanda Waller's team just like knocks her out with a golf club. And they start helping.
They're just like, oh shit.
Yeah, then they start helping the Suicide Squad.
I like how she's just out cold on the floor.
Yeah, I know, she got knocked out, bro.
She felt super intense in this movie. Like,
oh, dude, I think she's way better in this than the other one.
Yeah, I think so.
Like in this one, I think
she's more cold and like willing. I think
she's like the villain of this movie if you really think about it, and that's what I like about her.
Yeah, I get she's. Yeah.
Because like think about it, like Starro. I mean, he's kind of like the big thing for them to fight at the end. But like if we're being real. And this could be like a slight complaint, but I mean, I don't really care because like I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Starro doesn't really have any like plan. Like, you know how most superhero movies, there's a villain and they're like, oh, like in Black Panther, what's his name? Killmonger, yeah.
Yeah, he actually was
he has like a plan, like, and he's kind of mad about this, and he wants to use Wakanda's thing to like make black people superior.
Yeah.
And he has like the right idea, but he's going about it the wrong way. Yeah. Starro doesn't really have any like thing, you know, he doesn't have he doesn't have anything. He's just mad and he just like, wants to smash it because he's been captured for 30 years. I guess it's revenge is what he wants.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess that's one of those villains where it's like, they don't really have a plan or an agenda.
Yeah. And I mean,
I'm
cool with that if I'm being real, because I think Amanda Waller comes off as more of a villain to me because she's like, you know, she's just evil. She's ruthless.
Yeah, like, she was willing to kill like Bloodsport's child. Yeah, and even the people in the control room were just like,
her own team were like,
were you really gonna do that? And she was just like, yeah.
And that's what I really like about her. She seems like she's actually like, to me, she comes off as like the main villain.
She's very intense.
Yeah, and Starro is kind of just like a cool thing for them to shoot, which I don't really have a problem with it, like I said, because doesn't need it. It's a big ass starfish, bro. Like it doesn't. Yeah. It's already crazy enough. I do like how also right before then, when Starro finally like breaks out of the like building, it like says like Starro versus the Suicide Squad. Oh yeah,
that kind of gave me like Scott Pilgrim vibes.
Yeah, like they had all of the like little like things, like especially when there's, what are they called, like title cards, I guess, that pull up and that you said it like reminds you of the comics. The one I really liked was when Rick Flag, Bloodsport, and Peacemaker all break out of that car, and there's like fire behind them, and it says like, all right, and it says like Operation Jotunheim at first, like all in flames. Yeah. And then Rick Flag's like, oh no, we gotta save Harley, and then the fire goes down, and then in smoke it says Operation Harley.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Dude, there's so many great shots like that.
Yeah, it's cool because like you're watching it, and you just, like I said, it starts at like a 10 and it keeps going. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of pulls you out of the movie for it a bit to be like, all right, this is what's happening.
Yeah. And when we watched it, our friend kept being like, bro, what did that say? I couldn't read it.
You did? Was it DJ?
Yes, DJ.
As DJ. Shout out DJ.
Let's see. I think we're pretty much gone through a lot of the stuff we like.
I really like the battle between Peacemaker and Bloodsport. I thought that was really cool. Oh, like, yeah. As the building like collapses, which by the way, it fucking falls on like King Shark, but he's good.
He's good. Yeah.
Like I thought he was actually gonna.
He fell out of the.
I thought he was gonna die when he fucking fell out of the building, but then like I guess his skin is just impenetrable.
Yeah, because like, King Shark gets attacked by these like little fish looking things. Yeah. I guess they're like some weird experiment because they've been doing, I don't know what they do in that building.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they're pretty much, they attack him like piranhas. You just see blood going like
crazy. He just starts getting bitten.
I thought he was about to get, I thought he might die there.
Yeah.
And then right after that, he falls out like 10 stories.
Probably more, dude.
Yeah, I thought he was going to die there. And then on top of that, when he's laying there, they all just start shooting him with like fully
I thought it was funny, like everyone just like takes time to like reload and shit.
Yeah.
He's just there like, he's like, fuck.
The shark looks really real in a lot of the scenes. Like when they're in the...
Yeah, he does, like the... What is it called?
It's
like
the texture of his skin.
Yeah, and then like his skin looks really wet like constantly, and it
looks like a shark.
Yeah, it does. It looks like very realistic, which is why I like...
When they're in the bus driving to the club, he's like sitting in the back looking out at the window, and you just see all the lights like from like the neon signs and stuff reflecting off of his skin and face, and it looks really...
Yeah.
Like I looks like a shark.
Yeah. It's King Shark, bro. But I guess he's I wouldn't say immortal, but he's OP. Like he Amanda Waller said they needed him when they were like almost about to kill him.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how they would have done, but yeah.
When we get to the end when they're fighting Starro, so pretty much they all survive except Polka Dot Man's the one that dies.
Dude, I felt bad because like he finally like got over his mother and like he accepted, like he's like, I'm a superhero.
Yeah, he just like shot all his polka dots at Starro's leg and like
he like overcame his fear pretty much.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'm a superhero. And then he gets smashed.
I felt bad.
Yeah, he dies like in the last like 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, he
almost made it.
I kind of like that too because it's just like even when you think like no one's safe.
Yeah, I love it. The only people that made it out alive then were Bloodsport, Harley Quinn, King Shark, and Ratcatcher.
Yeah. 4
of them out of like the 15-man squad that we started out with.
Yeah, I know. I felt bad when Rick Flag died. Like, I mean, go back to that fight scene with him and Peacemaker. But I like that little X-ray that they did because when he first gets stabbed, you're just like, oh shit, like maybe it wasn't lethal.
And then he smashes it.
Yeah, then it's like right in his heart. And then the last battle between Peacemaker and Bloodsport was really cool. Cause like you think they're gonna go like crazy, like start doing
They do like a draw off.
Yeah, it's pretty much like an instant duel. They pull their guns, and I like how it slows down and the camera just like pans around the bullets.
Yeah.
And it goes through like Peacemaker's bullet.
Cause Peacemaker has like a big ass gun.
Yeah, it's like a big ass. Well, it's like a Desert Eagle with like extended barrel, and then he extends it even more with the fucking silencer.
And then Bloodsport just pulls out like a tiny little pistol and shoots it, and we see the bullets. They hit and. Bloodsport's bullet goes right through it.
Yeah, and it just blows it, like combusts.
It's a smaller, more concise bullet, and I think Bloodsport or Peacemaker earlier in the movie talked about like how he's got like these big like concussion and like exploding hollow point bullets.
Yeah, that go through other people's bullets.
So he ends up dying because of that because Bloodsport's like, I got smaller bullets.
Yeah, he like hits him right in the throat.
Oh, but did he die though, Nick?
He did not. I actually seen he's been tweeting from the Peacemaker on HBO the Twitter account.
That was the thing going into this. Since they had already announced there's a Peacemaker show coming to HBO, I was like, okay, so is Peacemaker for sure gonna live, or is it gonna be a prequel, or what?
That's what I was thinking was a prequel.
Yeah, because also I think they said that they haven't said who, but they said there's other villains from like Suicide Squad apparently are gonna make appearances in the show. So I don't know, maybe
Weasel?
Ratcatcher. Maybe I don't
Weasel?
know who. Huh?
Is that Weasel?
Oh, that would be cool.
That was such a stupid ass.
It's like Peacemaker. We got to send you back into Corto Maltese. Weasel's on the loose.
I thought that was funny. Like,
yeah, the 2 post credit scenes.
I think 2 or 3 days like pass. Yeah, and then like it shows the first post credit scene is just like Weasel on like dead body on the beach.
He coughs up the water.
Yeah, he coughs up some water, and he's just like, he's like, where am I? Like, and then he just fucking runs off.
Into the forest.
I like the little sounds they gave him. It sounds so weird.
Yeah. So I really one last thing also. I like how when they finally Ratcatcher calls in all her rats.
Yeah.
And there's like a swarm of rats that are all
that was. I didn't expect who like was gonna take down Starro because I think
it's pretty much Ratcatcher.
It's Ratcatcher and Harley. I think.
They both do two things that finish it off.
Yeah.
But all the rats are just swarming it, and then Harley got with the javelin.
The javelin kind of helped too.
Yeah, it did. And this is one thing actually. I was expecting, because she jumps right at its big eye off the javelin to like stab it.
Yeah.
And I like how I was expecting it to like hit the eye and then maybe pull down.
Yeah.
But like she goes smoothly through it because it's like an iris.
Like,
and it's like a giant eye. It's like filled with liquid and like starfishy guts and weird shit.
Yeah.
And I like how there's no like stabbing sound. Like she literally kind of like pops through it.
Yeah, it just pops through its eye.
And she just goes into this juice, and then you see the rats swimming past her.
I thought that was really cool with like the music and everything, and Harley's just kind of like, it's kind of basking in its like, fucking eye juice. And then the rats come in and just start like, they start eating its membrane and shit.
Oh yeah, and then you see a scene of the starfish, and it's like there's like a ton of blood in its
its eyes just
its
red.
eyes like deflated, and it finally falls over.
Yeah, that was gross.
I also like how the starfish, in a way, I mean it's trying to kill people.
Yeah.
But I like how, because when it has its little starfish go over other people, it can speak through them.
Yeah.
And I like how its final words when it's about to die, it tells them like oh, I was happy like looking among the stars. So in a way, like it was chilling in space, and the only reason why like it's becomes like its life sucks now is because people captured it and took it to Earth.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, like I was
fucking
chilling.
America.
Like, yeah. So in a way, the starfish is a good guy too.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, not really, but
maybe that was the one that probably Amanda Waller. I don't know who took it from space, but I guess that thing in a way was kind of innocent. But when you kept it in prison for so long, like
the thinker gets completely like murked.
Oh, dude, I fucking love how the thing like the explosion goes off and the little like viewing window breaks, and he's just like, oh shit, and he starts like trying to run, and these little tentacles come out and pull him.
Yeah, he's like, my bad, like we cool.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm ready to change. I like how he says that, because it's like he knows that he kept it in prison, and he's probably talked to it, like communicated to it telepathically or whatever. And then they've had like
rip his arms off.
Yeah, he rips his arms, and then like you just see fucking.
Then he slams the other half of the body against like a window, and you see blood
straight up fucking
explode. Like the body, there's nothing left.
Yeah, it's fucking blood. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, this movie's great. I really like this movie.
Yeah, it's really good. It has good pacing.
There's great music choice too.
Yeah, for sure. It's James Gunn. He's really like perfected that. Was there an album that came with this, or like I know there's a soundtrack.
It has a soundtrack which has all the music. I think it's on Spotify. I also really like the score of this. Like there's a lot of like when you see the flashback with Ratcatcher and her dad, the music playing in that is actually really good.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's just the score. Like they just straight up like wrote that for this movie.
Yeah.
So the score and the soundtrack work together really well.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
I think we forgetting anything, or is that's it?
I think that's it.
Pretty much. We had a lot to say about this one.
Yeah, we did. So final thoughts. I mean, I already gave it my ranking at the beginning, like a 4.
You gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. Well, we usually go out of 10. So what would you give it out of 10? I mean, if you translate that, that's pretty much like a 9?
9. I give it a 9.
I think I gave it a 9 too at the theater.
Yeah.
Because let me see. Why ain't it a 10 for me? What could be better? Like, why is it not a perfect score?
Maybe if the beginning was like a little bit longer to like the I guess the shitty like first team had that kind of banter and stuff when they first met. Well, I mean, I guess they did in the plane, but yeah, I guess James Gunn didn't want us to get too attached to them and then just kill them, because I guess people don't really like that, or it's like, oh, I like that character, and then like they're just fucking dead.
Let's see. What could be better?
Yeah, I know we've been praising this movie.
Maybe
if like Starro had a better, I guess, motivation.
That's the word I was.
Or maybe if there was more of like the Thinker. It would have been cool if the Thinker was working with Starro, and he's like, you know what, like you guys have been like, you threw me on this island to fucking like raise this thing, and it's like now we're just gonna take over. That's originally what I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like, I've been experimenting on them and shit. He's like, I've been building an army.
Oh, like he's controlling it.
Yeah, like that's what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I could see that. No, yeah, I'm not sure there's a, like, I can't off the top of my head think of anything I would have wanted better. Maybe this is just a personal thing. Most people probably don't care. I would have liked Captain Boomerang to live a little bit longer, because he dies right at the beginning, and he was in the other one the whole movie.
That was so dumb too, because he was just fucking doing his job on the beach, and then
he gets a kill actually. Like
he cuts off like 2 dudes' scalps or something.
Yeah, shit. And then because of that one chick, Mongol, the orange, she grabs the
she jumps on the helicopter. She's like, I'll take it down. And then instantly
she's like burning alive.
Yeah, she loses control. Oh, I thought that was funny. She was just like,
dude, and Boomerang died in a bad way. Like all the propellers hit up all these palm trees, and he got like hit with wooden shrapnel.
They were like in his face and shit.
It's in his face, it's in his body, and then on top of that, then the helicopter just like hits him with the propellers.
Yeah, that was fucking.
Yeah, he got. Oh my god, I think
like it's cool because they like Harley Quinn still knows Rick Flag and she still knows Boomer.
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah, she was
in the when they're first in the helicopter going to the place. They're like laughing together. Like they obviously know each other. Everyone else kind of is like their first time.
Yeah. So I think maybe what it doesn't make this a 10 for me was I just wanted to see some characters live a bit longer.
I could see that.
But I think this movie's great. Like, nonetheless, I think James Gunn did a really good job. But it would have been cool if Boomerang was on the other team. I think he was low-key, what's the word called?
Underused?
Yeah, either underused or, like, nerfed, I guess, in this movie.
Yeah.
But
I really like the picks for the people that were on the team in this one, though, more so than the other one. Because the other one is, like, everyone's, like, pretty much just a brawler, besides, like, Deadshot, who's just pretty much a guy that can shoot.
Yeah.
And everyone else just fights with their hands. Besides Diablo, who has fire. There's, like, 2 people that do other stuff in the other one. This one just had way more, like...
diversity.
Like, rat catcher, you rats. Polka dot. Big-ass shark.
Yeah, it's like no one was like really quite the same, of course, except like Peacemaker and
yeah, they make a joke out of that too. But then they're different personality wise.
Yeah, but it makes sense because like she sent like Bloodsport there so his daughter wouldn't die because she needed a leader, and then Peacemaker was there to like make sure that the mission was actually finished.
Yeah, I think overall I'm giving it a 9.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9. Still really good movie.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite DC movie from their like universe.
Yeah, I think so.
It's either this or Wonder Woman. Those are my top 2 for
it's
sure.
Either this or Man of Steel is really good.
Man of Steel is
top
really
3.
Good.
I'll give this top 3.
Yeah, this is definitely
because I like Batman versus Superman. I like the Snyder Cut. I like Man of Steel. I like the Suicide Squad. Yeah, I'm not gonna rank them all right now, but this is top 3 for me.
This has definitely jumped up. This is probably my favorite. I think.
Yeah, I think because James Gunn directed it, like it's so funny, like the jokes and stuff work, and seeing all these. He picked such outlandish characters for this, and like. He worked them in so well with like the dialogue and stuff, and it really feels like it's stuff that they would say and do.
Yeah. Before we wrap it up, let's talk the box office real quick.
Oh, you want to?
Huh?
You want to pull it up?
If you could.
Do you know?
I mean, I think I have a relative idea of what it is. I don't know the updated box office and how it's done in its second weekend, but I do know it probably would have done better if there wasn't no COVID. COVID's on the rise again because of certain things going on, but it's on the rise. So I think it only did like maybe a couple 30 million weekend. And on top of that, it's on HBO Max, which I don't know what the HBO Max things are. What did you get?
I pulled up the 2016 one.
Oh, well,
dude, can you imagine if the 2016 one does better than this one?
If I'm being real, it probably will. Just because of like COVID and because of the HBO Max deal.
So the 2016 Suicide Squad, just for some perspective, did almost 746 million. This one, it debuted. It says box office, the Suicide Squad underwhelms with a 26.5 million debut amid Delta variant concerns.
Yeah, so like about 30 million opening weekend. So like it's not doing that well financially. But
yeah, it says it cost 150 million to produce and then more to promote, which the promotion was crazy. Like the posters, the trailers, all the press they did and shit. Like I can't imagine how much that costs.
It's usually double. I usually it's usually whatever it's not obviously like 100% accurate, but it's usually whatever the budget is for the film, just like add that on top of it again, like multiply it by 2 is usually what it is. So I mean the movie's good. Like I think the only reason why it's underperforming is just because COVID, and on top of that the HBO Max deal is, I mean, it's great for us that we get to just watch it at home.
Yeah.
But if we're being real, it's probably hurting every movie that has gone just straight to HBO Max, because although HBO Max isn't technically free, because like someone's dropping like $10 a month or whatever it is.
Yeah, and they don't do that Disney premiere access shit.
If they did that, maybe that would help them out. But Disney's kind of an assholes with that. Like they make it $30 for like, I don't know. It's pretty expensive. But then again, if you went to the theaters of 3 people, it's probably gonna be about 30 anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think honestly, if they have James, like they'll probably, I imagine they'd bring James Gunn back for another movie. I don't know, another Suicide Squad, or I don't know if because they told him when they first hired him, he could do anything he wanted. Like he said, he almost did a Superman movie, and then he was like, nah, he's like, I'll do the Suicide Squad again. So they pretty much said like, you can do anything you want. You can pick any of our characters, anything, do whatever. So it seems like they have all faith in James Gunn, and after this, I think they can tell, even regardless of how the box office is, they'll probably know that this was a good movie.
Yeah, it was received very well.
Yeah, exactly.
The tomato meter was like crazy when they revealed it.
So it's only because of like circumstances in the world right now. So I think even if it takes like another 5 years, I think this will earn its money back in some sort of way, whether or not it's James Gunn coming back again, and then whenever COVID is on the low, people are finally vaccinated. Yeah. But no, I think I don't really care about the box office for this one. I think it's honestly just a shame that this movie isn't getting the money that it obviously is like worth.
Didn't you think? Did the same thing happen with Birds of Prey? Because that came out 2020, like March or May.
It happened like right when stuff started shutting down.
Yeah,
like,
and that's probably when it was at its highest.
Yeah, it came out, I believe, February, or maybe March. It was late February or early March, and then everything shut down. So Birds of Prey obviously suffered because of that. But that's a good movie too. I think people hate on that movie too much. I think that's probably in my top 5 of DC movies. Yeah. But no, yeah. Anyway, the box office, I don't really care too much because I think this movie's still great. I think if anything, it's just a shame that it's not getting the money that it probably deserves, that it would have gotten. Like, imagine this came out like 2 years ago.
Probably would have been crazy.
It probably would have done more than the first Suicide Squad. Maybe crack $1 billion. Who knows?
Maybe.
It has the potential to. I mean, Captain Marvel did.
I think so. Really?
Captain Marvel got $1 billion. Yeah, let that sink in.
And on that note,
we out.
Yeah,
we both given it a 9.
Yeah.
Great movie. Go see it if you can.
It's very rare that we have a consensus on a rating.
Yeah. Go see it in theaters if you can. If you're vaccinated, if it's safe, if you can, where you are. Yeah. If not, go on HBO Max. Get a free trial or give them $10, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. This movie is definitely worth whatever the price is. I think. And I think that's it.
Yeah. Go follow the socials on Twitter. We're super active there with movie news.
Shout out Margot.
Yeah. Shout out Margot. Shout out James Gunn. Michael Rooker for the first 10 minutes of the movie. Yeah. Idris Elba was really good in this too.
He was. Yeah. I'm glad that they his character survived. I wouldn't mind seeing him again.
Yeah, for sure. Go follow the socials. Subscribe to YouTube if you aren't already watching. Yep. Got a lot of big stuff coming. We got more reviews. And
if you're on YouTube, comment your thoughts below.
Yeah. Let us know your rating.
Yeah. Let us know what you thought of the movie. And I think we out.
See you in the next one.